just I want your show. To know what to do, just jump in the queue. It's coming to you. So what you gonna do? All in the queue, it's coming to you. All in the queue, just check out the view. All in the queue. Show to know what to do, just jump in. To be in the know, just I want your show to know what to do, just jump in the queue. It's coming to you. So what you gonna do? All in the queue, it's coming to you. All in the queue, just check out the view. All in the queue. Show to know what to do, just jump in. To be in the know, just I want your show to know what to do, just jump in the queue. It's coming to you. So what you gonna do? All in the queue, it's coming to you. All in the queue, just check out the view. All in the queue. What's the show to know what to do, just jump in. To be in the know, just I want your show to know what to do, just jump in the queue. It's coming to you. So what you gonna do? All in the queue, it's coming to you. All in the queue, just check out the view. All in the queue. What's the show to know what to do, just jump in. To be in the know, just I want your show to know what to do, just jump in the queue. It's coming to you. So what you gonna do? All in the queue, it's coming to you. All in the queue, just check out the view. All in the queue. What's the show to know what to do, just jump in. To be in the know, just I want your show to know what to do, just jump in the queue. It's coming to you. So what you gonna do? All in the queue, it's coming to you. All in the queue, just check out the view. All in the queue.
Yes, you. Press the subscribe button. Press the subscribe button. Yes, you. Press the subscribe button. Press the subscribe button. Yes, you. Press the subscribe button. Press the subscribe button. Yes, you. Press the subscribe button. Press the subscribe button. Yes, you. Press the subscribe button. Press the subscribe button. Yes, you. Press the subscribe button. Press the subscribe button. Yes, you. Press the subscribe button. Press the subscribe button. Yes, you. Press the subscribe button. Press the subscribe button. Yes, you. Press the subscribe button. Press the subscribe button. Yes, you. Press the subscribe button.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to my show, Table Talk. This is our third edition of Table Talk. Today's Table Talk, we are going to sip some wine. I'm sipping some wine.
All right. Well, I got some water.
Okay, come on with it, Sherry.
I got some water.
If you want to know what I'm sipping on today, I am sipping on Stella Rose pineapple. Put this in the freezer and then pour it in your cup. It will bless your life. Okay? Every part of it. All right. What I want to do first is welcome. Let me find my clapping. Here it is. Okay. Here on Table Talk, we sit at the table. I'm sitting at my dining room table. I
sitting
think
in my
Sherry's
office.
sitting in her kitchen. Your office, she's sitting at her office table. And when I think about sitting at the table, I think about, you're talking, you're having a conversation, you're having a good time. So that's what we're going to do tonight. We're going to talk tonight. This live is mainly to pay homage to this young lady sitting here with us today.
Thank you.
For those of you that do not know, and we're going to get into it, this young lady, similar to the Alabama people that threw their hat up in the air and needed some help, the police officer, the security guard that needed some help, this young lady helped to sound the alarm. And I'm sure that most of you don't know that. Most of you don't know Sherry Hatcher-Britton. Because she's, people are always hollering, can we see some different people? Child, the different people is actually doing some work. So some of them you're not going to see because they're actually doing things in the background to push this movement forward. And we want to pay homage to Sherry because she hasn't asked for any accolades. She hasn't asked for any awards. She hasn't asked for anything other than for her town to be saved. She hasn't asked for anything other than the residents to begin to step up with her and the other people that have been in this fight since the beginning to begin to fight harder. Because now we are coming down to the end. We're coming down to the lame duck days of this administration. So if she's not arrested before there's an election in Dalton, we are coming down to the end of her administration, and I believe that she sees the end coming. But today we are going to talk with Miss Sherry. First of all, here on Table Talk, we like to get to know our guests first. So, we want to ask you, just a couple of nosy questions. We're just gonna be nosy. Miss Sherry, can you let us know? Did you grow up in Dalton?
I did not. So I have been a resident. It'll be 26 years in December.
Wow.
So I was a 31-year-old woman with a 4-year-old son. And I moved to Dalton. I can't say I was a single mom because my son's father is awesome. But I moved to Dalton because it was close to my family. My mom is in South Holland. Her sisters are in Riverdale. A couple years after I moved to Dalton, my grandmother moved to Dalton. You know what I mean? So it was one of those things where, just being close to family. So I've been here for 26 years.
Oh, wow. And so, but, did you remarry? I know you said you moved there with your son.
Yeah, just me and my son. I am married. Yes, I am
Okay,
married now. I've
so
been married for 11 years.
so you are a beautiful woman. So all the men out there watching, please do not get in her DMs because her husband is serious about her. So
Well,
and he
first of
don't
all,
play.
I ain't young. People think I'm young, but I'm 56 years old.
What, honey? Black don't crack. Okay, at all. Black do not crack, and it don't need no oil of Olay or no Dove soap neither.
Right, right, right.
Okay,
I try.
so
I try, but yeah.
this beautiful
Hmm.
woman is married, happily married. So don't be jumping to her DMs because her man don't play that. So don't do that.
Yeah, my son
Uh,
is 29. Yep.
whoop.
Yep.
Okay.
Hmm.
So can you so what do you do? What do you do now? Or what did you do? Or just let us know, what do you do?
Okay, so right now I've turned into an advocate for the village of Dalton. A
Okay.
lot of people don't know that I worked for the fire department. I don't advertise it, but I don't run from it or hide it, because I love all those guys there. They're great guys. So watching them go through what they're going through with this administration is heartbreaking. Um, but they are good guys. I worked as the executive assistant to the fire chief, is what I did.
Okay,
Hmm.
so boy, that is a news to me because that was something that I didn't know. I didn't know that you worked at the fire department, but
Hmm.
I'm
Hmm.
sure that what they're going through right now with them not having a
I'm
not
sorry,
having
my husband, the person that I'm married to, just came in, and he's opening the window because it's a little warm in
and
here.
there's his house and he can do what he wanna do. Okay.
Absolutely.
I'm not finna get on his bad side. Do your job, sir. Okay, do your job. So, and with the firemen not having a contract, a proper
Hmm.
contract, sure did that, played a role in, some things, so we're not going to get it too deep into that, but it's great to know that you did
Hmm.
work at the fire department and you've always been serving the community. So, that's another reason why we should be paying homage to you because you have always been serving the community. There has never
Hmm.
not been a time that you haven't been serving this community. Um, so the other thing that I wanted to ask you was, what are your hobbies? What do you like to do for fun? What do Sherry like to do?
Like to hang out with my friends, go out to eat, relax. I'm so past all the other stuff. You know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
remember, I'm closer to 60 than I am 50.
Woo, okay,
So
y'all. I'm telling you, black not
absolutely.
cracking.
Yeah, the community things, I like to do community things, hang out with my family. That's real important to me. Because
Okay.
on my mom's side, we have a small family. So my mom and her sisters, those are like her sisters are like my sisters.
Wow.
So we do
Me myself,
family things like that.
yeah.
I'm
Well, me
sorry.
myself, I'm not from here either. So,
Hmm.
I'm from Virginia. So, moving here and my friends have become very important to me, and they've become like my family. So I definitely understand that. Now we want
Yeah.
to go a little bit deeper into Dalton. I'm sure everybody is here to get the tea. So the
Okay.
first thing I wanted to ask you was, okay, so you've been in Dalton for 26 years.
Hmm.
So that means that you were there for the 11 years that Tiffany was a trustee.
Hmm.
Let us know about Tiffany, the trustee. Let us know
Okay.
about her.
So Tiffany the trustee is different from Tiffany the mayor. When I say that, I mean that yes, she was a little rambunctious and a little unorthodox with how she did things. A lot of people didn't like how she handled herself at board meetings, but she was rough around the edges. Rough around the edges to me doesn't mean that you're a criminal. I mean, you can straighten that crown. That's the way we looked at it. I mean, to be honest, we looked at her as the lesser of two evils when she decided to run for mayor, but we had no idea that she was going to be the way she is in 2024.
So
But
when she was a
as a
trustee,
trustee, She was a little unorthodox, but I can't say that she was like she is now. She did for an example, she wanted to do a violence march, and that was in, I believe, 2018, 2019. And myself and former trustee Dwayne Muhammad, we went out with her to pass out her flyers for this violence march. And it was a success. And it was so weird because the former mayor and Chief Lacey, well, he was a sergeant or whatever he is now, they were trying to disrupt the violence march. So now they're best friends.
Wow. So you
So
just
yeah,
said, you
yeah.
just dropped the bomb. You just
Mhm,
said that at
mhm.
one point, Booger, I call him Booger, Bookman,
Booger.
was a opposition to the mayor, the
Mhm.
current mayor, but at that time she was a trustee.
Yes.
So
Mhm,
they were opposed to each other
mhm,
during the time she was a trustee.
mhm. And now I don't want to say the entire time because I want to say her original run she ran with him on his ticket.
Wow.
Now,
Oh my.
and that's another thing when she talks about Clerk Key and Trustee House and Trustee Belcher running on her ticket, they ran together. She needed them because the community was not going for her. She was not loved like she said she was. They brought, when they were out there pounding the pavement, they were talking people into voting for her. And she was actually going around herself and she was just actually lying, saying that, oh, I'm gonna, work with everybody. There was a plan, but she had her own plan. Like I always say, you never know someone's agenda until um their agenda. I mean, we can't take responsibility for what she's doing. And when people try to make us take responsibility, no, we're not doing that.
So
I'm
as a
not.
trustee, so as a
Mhm,
trustee, and this is what I try to explain to people too. So as a trustee, you felt she was
mhm.
rough around the edges, but not unteachable at that point.
Absolutely. She actually pretended that she would work with everyone. My brother, he's my friend. I call him my brother, Maki San. I know you'll see him every now and then in Dalton politics. He always told her, do the right thing. He wanted her to do right. He worked on her campaign from Texas,
Wow.
over the and do you know she actually said that she didn't even know him and that he was stalking her. She's a liar. She was willing to get this man in trouble, just by saying that she had no idea who he was. Hmm.
Wow. So I'm glad you said Maki-san. Shout out to
Hmm.
Maki-san. If you go in Dalton Politics and you put in MAKISAHN,
Hmm.
you will see some of his posts in Dalton Politics.
Yes.
Very, very, very intelligent man. Very.
So I call him Sensei. He's my brother, but I call him Sensei.
He
I actually met him through a few good women's Karen Hicks, and I met him, and he said, "I see you, sis," and we actually became friends and comrades when we were having issues with the first mayor, with not the first mayor, but the previous mayor before her.
may arrive.
And we stuck together through this, and you know, he knows, we
And
all
so
know what's
has
really
he
going on.
always lived in Texas or did he transition there?
No, he hasn't always lived in Texas. I'm not sure how long he's been there, but he's been there since him and I have been friends.
He is somebody that I really would love to speak to because, like I said, when you read his posts, they're
Hmm.
very articulate, they're very intelligent, they're very to the
Hmm.
point. They're never slanderous, they're always
Hmm.
factual.
Yeah.
Um, and I feel like he is, when I read his posts, I feel like he's a very judicious person.
Mm-hmm.
So he will
Mm-hmm.
give you the benefit of the doubt until he cannot, and when he
Absolutely.
cannot,
Absolutely.
then he's just not.
Absolutely.
He's just not
Absolutely.
going to do it. And
Mm-hmm.
so, man, hats off to him. We want to
Mm-hmm.
salute him for supporting Dalton, for supporting you and Valerie Stubbs and Thelma
Mm-hmm.
Price and Mary Avant and everyone in Dalton through a lot of challenging times. It wasn't just now;
Absolutely.
it was
Mm-hmm.
the previous mayor too. So shout
Mm-hmm.
out to him. And if he's listening, if he's watching, I would love to have you on Table Talk so we can
Okay.
talk about it. Okay, I'm gonna put it out there. So we're gonna go from that to how did it come about that Tiffany began to say she was going to run for mayor? How did that come about?
Okay. So it's interesting. When we knew as a community that we did not want the previous mayor, um, we kind of everybody was trying to figure out who should run, who should run. Jason House was the very first person that came to my mind to run. Jason has always been the same person. He's never wavered. He's always been respectful, kind, and for the people. So all those people who don't have a clue, they really don't have a clue. He's very strong and he's very intelligent and he's always even his first 4 years as a trustee he was good and if he didn't agree with you he didn't agree with you, you know what I mean, he just was a good guy. For his own personal reasons, he wasn't ready to run at that point. And, we had to respect that. I mean, we threw a lot of people, we were throwing a lot of people out there. Hey, you should run. You should run. Everybody was saying run, we were trying to get people to run. And when she threw her hat in the ring, it was like, ugh. But again, you know, Jason will tell you everybody is entitled to run if they want to run. You can't stop them. So we just felt like if we tried to straighten up her crown, help her out, then maybe she would listen. I mean, she's not young, but she's young. So when I say that, I just mean that, let's try to help you out, get you together, get you resumes for your team, your staff, like your village administrator, things of that nature. Let's do all that stuff, but she had her own plan and she had her own team. Obviously, she was talking to them uh before and they just had a plan to come on in and she just ignored everyone once she got in and she just started making bad decisions. So that is basically how that happened. There were people, I suggested Valerie Stubbs, I suggested Mary Avant, I suggested everybody, but and people always say you should run. No, I'm not running. So let's put that to bed because there are even people who live in Dalton who have made the statement, oh, she wants to run. If I wanted to run, I would run and I would win. So let's not do that. Let's not go there. I'm just saying.
Okay. Okay,
So
table talk is where you put that to rest. It's like, look, this is like when you
it's
was a kid and your parents set you down at the table to tell you what the
mhm,
rules was gonna be. You just said it. You heard it on All in the Queue first. Sherry said
mhm.
she does not desire to run, but if
I
she
do not.
did, she would run and she would win. Okay, but she
Absolutely.
doesn't
Hands
desire
down.
to. Right.
Mhm.
She doesn't
And they
desire
know that too. So sometimes people are afraid of that. They don't have to be afraid of that. I'm not doing that.
Right. Right. So let's okay, so let's stick with that. So Tiffany decides to y'all decide to okay, we're gonna back her because nobody
Mhm.
else is putting their hat in the ring.
Mhm.
And this is what we gotta deal with. This is what we have to choose from, or we're gonna have to stick with the old right? And that wasn't able. So what things did you all want to put in place to help her? Because let me tell you, you can't convince me that this child went to anybody's college. I don't care what she say. You can't
Yeah,
convince me.
yeah, yeah. I think you're right. But we'll just say that it's not. Yeah, she didn't. We'll just say that.
Okay.
We'll
And so
talk. We'll
what
talk.
things okay, because
Hmm.
baby, the truth is the truth.
Hmm.
What things did you all want to put in place to help? Because did you end up helping? Who ended up helping on this campaign? And I want to say this first to the viewers.
Hmm.
Because the people helped on her campaign doesn't make them to blame, because the choices are the choices. And if you
Right.
choose to help your community by helping someone who is running for mayor, like she said, you don't know what they're going to do. That's for any politician.
Hmm.
Look at Kwame Raoul. Look at
Hmm.
the state's attorney. All these people
Hmm.
ran, they promised all these things to all these people and didn't do not one of them. Not one.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
and we voted for them because we thought that they would do something, right?
Hmm.
So I want to preface this with that. Okay. So who ended up helping her? I know that, I know a couple of people, but who ended up trying to take this rough around the edges person and get
Hmm.
them together? Who ended up doing it?
Yeah, they wanted her to take speech classes. Again, we wanted to give her people to choose from. And the thing of it is learn how to work with people. It's not me, 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 me. Um, you try to get her, and then she just doesn't want to do that because she believes that this ghetto fabulous act is what people want, and they don't. And they're telling her that. So that lets us know that there's some type of mental retardation or something going on there, because how do you, when people keep telling you something and you're not listening, and it's, I don't care, I don't care. The fact that she just had that meeting is crazy. You know what I mean? That, I mean, whatever it was, because it wasn't a meeting, it was legal. So
Right,
let me stop saying that, because
right.
if I say it, then
The
everybody else will
gathering. So
continue to say it.
the gathering that
Mhm.
she had a
Yes. Yeah.
gathering.
Yeah.
So
The
the
gathering.
gathering that she had, right?
Yeah.
That's what I would call it, because, like you said, it definitely couldn't be an official meeting. There was no clerk record minutes. There was no trustee. It wasn't even
Hmm.
open properly. So I would call it a
Hmm.
gathering. She had a family
Yeah.
reunion where she invited her
So
people and they was talking.
yeah. So
Okay.
basically she just flipped the script. If I'm saying it correctly, she flipped the script. Like
Yeah,
we
you
would
are.
have they had tea with the trustees online when they were running.
Mm-hmm.
And we talked about, as a community, people in the community, we talked about things we were going to do, and things we were going to do to change some of the things and make the community better. And she was, this is her. Yeah, that's her. That's how she was looking. Oh, yeah, we're going to do that. But she had no intentions of doing that. She had no intentions of working with the community. And so she lied, and nobody knew that. See, people are seeing her in this element. Yeah, she was a hot mess, and she was a hot mess sometimes at the board meetings, but she had a somber side, and a side that sometimes she would pretend like she was listening to us, but she just wasn't ready. And then, she just took off and went flying in her own direction. And a lot of it has to do with, I don't know, maybe the way she was brought up. I don't know what makes a person like that. And then you get into her running and you get into the election. The big thing with that is we had low voter turnout. Our primary was in February. It's really cold.
Oh,
So that's
yeah.
another reason people don't come out. So when she says that she won by 82% of the vote, 82% of the general election, which it was her, and usually whoever wins the primary in Dalton doesn't have to worry about the general election because nobody is running against them, because we usually don't have a Republican person running.
Right.
So when she's saying 82%, she really should have got 98%. if
Right.
if I'm being, a person that did, the guy that ran against her did not, he did not campaign at all. He did not live in Dalton, and he still got 500 votes. That's crazy.
Uh, Man,
And
so
I just saw that everybody got more votes than she did.
right. And so let's what I want you to do is describe the
Mhm,
community for the viewers and for the replay viewers.
mhm,
Because I used to drive school bus out there,
mhm, mhm,
and it's a senior community.
mhm.
It's where people go to retire mainly.
We do have a lot of
Let us
seniors.
know what the makeup is like out there.
Well, we do have a lot of seniors, but we have a lot of people in my age bracket, not quite seniors, but not quite the hip hop, you know, era people or whatever. We're not this $24,000 income, yearly income. I don't know where they got that from. Even if it's on paper, is 100% wrong. I mean, look at Mary, look at Valerie, look at Thelma, Dan Lee, look at, I mean, we're not, no, I don't know where they got that from. We have crime just like anyone else. Is not any more and not any less. Um, in our communities, I do think that we suffer from, let's say, we'll say Tinley Park or Orland or Barrington or things of that nature. Their first responders, they take care of them, because in our communities, to say we don't have the money to take care of first responders is crazy. They take care of us, and in our communities they have more calls. We go through what, to about 5,000 to 6,000 calls a year
Right.
in Dalton. I mean,
And
how do you not take care of your, but the community is great. We had a great park district. A lot of us have become family, and even more family now that we're trying to get her together.
I know that's right. I have
Hmm.
visited the community several times. As I said, I used to drive school bus out there. And
Hmm.
there are a lot of six-figure
Yeah,
residents out there too. I mean,
yeah.
there are people who own businesses that live out there
Hmm.
but own businesses in other cities.
Yeah, my
Um,
neighbor has a
and
great flourishing business. Yeah.
yeah, I mean, I just want to put it in the proper perspective for people. I don't want people to get the idea that this is some underprivileged, underserved
Hmm.
community that this lady, because of the way that she speaks, um
Right.
is a mayor of. She's not a
Hmm.
mayor of an underserved, underprivileged community. This
Yeah,
is
that she
actually
has to give food to every week.
right.
Right.
No, this is actually an affluent community. There are many retired
Hmm.
people that live there, six-figure people that live there. They own businesses, they own property. So the picture I want to paint for the people is that Dalton is a place that people go to rest and retire. And for this lady to have now come and tore this town up, it's
Yeah,
a travesty, really.
absolutely.
It's crazy that she has the nerve to go around and say, I grew here, they flew here. I mean, I don't like that tears me up every time I hear her say it, because I want to say to you, girl, across the street from the
Hmm.
village hall was a thriving strip mall. And now
Hmm.
that you came in, there's nothing there. Child, when I went back to
Yes.
visit, I cried because you know that barbecue place that's on Indiana and State that was
Hmm.
right there across from that it's like an industrial place. It's
Hmm.
no longer. That man
Yeah.
had the best barbecue in Dalton.
Listen,
I used to
she
stop there on the school
absolutely.
bus. I used to
Yep.
stop there on my school bus. I used to call him. He would have somebody run my plate out to the bus so that I wouldn't have to stop and park the bus.
Hmm.
Crazy.
Yeah. But that's
Crazy.
it. I mean, downtown Dalton is done. It's terrible.
I mean,
And
it is
only
no
and
more.
people were trying to build it up, but because she has an agenda, her and her boyfriend, her man, they have an agenda.
Wow. I mean, and her man, ain't neither one of them smart. It really burns me up. Okay,
Mhm.
so now, cause we're paying homage to Miss Sherry. I'm going to play a video. And I don't know, some of you may not have seen this video or know this. So we're paying homage to Miss Sherry. We want you to know some of the things that she's done. Since people keep hollering, why other people ain't doing anything? Why we haven't seen other people? Okay, so now we're about to show you someone just to let you know that not everybody wants to be seen. Some people just want to save their community and mind their business and drink their water. So I'm going to play a video. And when we come back, Miss Sherry, you're going to tell us about this day. I'm going to give you the date, because I'm the super producer. So I'll be
All
finding
right.
things. Okay. The date was July 7th, 2022. I'm going to play the video now.
I want to get Tiffany. They probably ran.
No, she had to do it right there.
I want him.
So he just walked down the street.
But he got the things in his hand. They got him. Got him. Got him. Got him. Got him. Our village administrator is out getting petitions signed on company time. Got him. I'm live.
You want to go back around?
I got him.
Okay.
Okay, girl, listen. I wanted to add some music to this video. Say, bad boys, what you gonna do? Because Miss Sherry said, I got him. Okay. What was that day? Tell the people. I want you to tell the people what happened that day. And I
Okay.
want you to tell the people who was with you. And I
Okay.
want you to tell the people how you found out. And tell the people how you felt when you got it. Go.
Okay. So what happened was, every time something happens, when we, it's like they would call us and say, okay, this is happening over here. Can somebody get over there? Can somebody do this? Can somebody do that? And it's like, okay. So I got the call, and actually one of the people, actually it was Lavelle Redmond, who told someone that they were over there getting petition signed. And so I got in the car and I called my friend. I know she doesn't want me to say who was driving the car, but she's well known in the community. But I won't. It wasn't Valerie, because I know a lot of times people think me and Valerie do everything together, but it wasn't Valerie. So I said, hey, I need you to drive so I can film this, because she doesn't do social media. And so we saw everybody walking, and you can't miss his big, clumsy looking butt. So I just started filming it. And I said, I'm not gonna record it. I'm gonna go live. So it'll be out there and people will see it. So we just called him, and I know he was like, oh my God. Yeah. So it was one of those things where I got the call and they said, hey, we need to catch him in the act. And I said, okay, I got you. I'm on my way. Yep.
And that was amazing. That was amazing to me
That was
because
fun.
man, you look like, oh, okay, she want to play with us. She want to play with us. I'm gonna show her that she's not gonna play with our community. She's not gonna play with us. And
Hmm.
yeah, I'm gonna do what's in my power to do, because you don't
Hmm.
have to have a lot of power. You don't have to have a big. You just need to do something. You just
Hmm.
need when you have the ability to do something, you should
You
do
do
something,
it.
right?
I mean, it was almost like when we found her, when she hid those vehicles. Remember when she hid the vehicles? I'm gonna give you a little
Tell the
tea.
people. Tell
I'm
the
gonna
people.
tell you, I have never revealed who actually called me that morning. I always say I got a call at like 6:45 in the morning, and I have been reaching out to these people for a while to help us in Dalton, because people would say, hey, reach out to the YouTubers, reach out to this person, that person. It was someone in the fire department who actually told me to reach out to Edgar County Watchdogs. I don't know how he knew where the vehicles was, but he called me and he said, hey, I know where these vehicles are, where she's hiding them. And I jumped in the car, ran over to where she had the cars hidden. They were in Calumet City at the senior center in Calumet City. And they were pushed back, and the plates weren't on them anymore. So she had removed the plates. She was hiding the cars because I believe she felt like they were going to come and confiscate the vehicles. They just were going to take the plates. She didn't know that. So she was hiding them. So when I get halfway there, I call Valerie. I say, hey, Val, I know where the vehicles are. I'm going over here to get, some footage of it. And she says, okay, I'm on my way. And so she met me over there, and we took video and everything. And that's how the media got that.
Listen, okay, let me tell you guys who Edgar County Watchdogs is, and shout out to him because I read a lot of his articles. They are Illinois leaks, and his name is John Kraft,
Yes.
right?
Hmm.
And he is one of the admins in Dalton politics. I love him. Amazing, another amazing man, very intelligent, very wise, is very judicious in
Hmm.
everything that he does, but he is for the community. He really is for the community. He writes a lot of articles for for the communities out
Hmm.
here, getting information out to the residents. So
Absolutely.
shout out to Edgar's Watchdog. If you don't listen or read his articles online, please go there, read his articles, sign up for his newsletter if there's something to sign up for. Please go there and do that because he is amazing. He writes amazing stories. He's an amazing journalist. And
Yeah,
I love
him
to read his stuff.
and Melanie from the
Oh,
Lansing
we're gonna get
Journal.
there. We're gonna get there. Don't worry. And so we're in July. That video
Hmm.
was in July. The
Hmm.
you found the vehicles. When was that? That
I
was
don't
July
remember that.
2022. That video was July 2022. So the vehicles were
Um,
what? Fast forward to 2023, the year 2023, right? When you found the vehicles.
no, I think that might have been 22 as well. I'm not sure. I can't
Okay.
remember. Girl, we did so much stuff. I don't know. I
Well,
know
listen, I'm getting ready to run
list.
down for the people. Okay. You just sit back. I want you to get your flowers. We're gonna get to something else, but I want you. Miss Sherry has given us so many moments. Let me tell you one other moment from August 1st, 2023. Miss Sherry made a post and she said, "We child, the devil is everywhere. Alfred Brooks of Riverdale is not a smart man. Allegedly, a former Chicago police officer and current maintenance man for the House of Hope Church. If your lawn equipment, lawn furniture, trailers, weed whackers are missing, go to his house in Riverdale. He has a yard full of stolen goods. Mr.
Hmm.
Alfred will not be working my nerves today. Al gets donkey of the day. Shout out Dalton, Riverdale, and Dalton Police." And then she began to post pictures of all of y'all stuff. Go get it.
I remember that.
Okay. So she doesn't just stick up for her community. That was a surrounding community. That's one of the townships.
Hmm.
One of Thornton Township's municipalities that's under the Thornton
Yes.
Township umbrella.
Hmm.
So she doesn't just advocate for her own community. She advocates for other communities too. She said, "Go get him." That was in August of 2023. I mean, what can we go to next? Hold on. A few weeks ago, Miss Sherry, again, she was the one that posted and said, "Lacey done showed up for work. Y'all call the Cook County Sheriff Department, please. Please, everybody." And she sounded the alarm, and everybody began to do that. I mean, just so many moments that you have posted for the people. Um, some of the lies that she's told you've gone back, found it in the meeting, and put the clip up there. I mean, if you are in Dalton and you are not utilizing Miss Sherry as a resource, what you doing? What are you doing? So,
Well, they don't know. People just don't know.
I
And
mean,
sometimes people just don't want to know. And that's fine too, because we can't please everybody. We just got to do the right thing. And we just have to not pay attention to the naysayers, because that's exactly what they are, naysayers. And we enjoy all the help. For me personally, I love the help that we're getting. Some of the things I struggle with is when people are saying what we're not doing and they don't know. So I don't know how to, that's the thing. I don't know how to get people to realize and understand that just because our board of trustees is never going to spend 5, 6, 7, 8 hours a day on Dalton politics. They're just not going to do that. And they shouldn't. An investigation means that some privacy is needed to do that investigation. So when people say, why didn't they do this? Or are they not doing this? And tell me what's going on with this. No, we can't. There are things that I know that I can't put on dog politics because it would screw up the investigations. We just can't always do that. Like somebody had posted, and no disrespect to this person because they didn't know, but one of the things it was, that, well, the board of trustees needs to stop her from having parties in Dalton. Well, they did send a letter to the board in Thornton Township letting them know that Tiffany would not be able to continue to have free parties there. So it's not that we're not doing things. The team is strong. They're very strong. And another thing people don't know, a trustee, that is is part-time, but barely part-time. So it's turned into full-time jobs for these people who have lives and full-time jobs for real that pay their bills. You know what I mean? So when people feel like the trustees need to answer their calls all day, every day, now you got residents and you got a good 10,000 other people, on their necks about everything. It just, it's not that easy. And we got to
and,
campaign. And we
right.
gotta now worry about a tax.
And I want to say the main thing here is before their name is trustee. So
Hmm.
they have to be trusted with information sometimes that they can't give to
Hmm.
the public.
Hmm.
And in doing so, they were given the job to act in the best interest of the resident. So I
Yep.
hate that too. I hate when I see people, well, the trustee should be doing this and the trustee should be doing, well, a lot of those things they can do. I mean,
Hmm.
yeah, they can support, but they can't be seen supporting. They have to be
Absolutely.
neutral in their support. They
Hmm.
have to, it might be seen as campaigning if they get involved with
Yes.
something. So, there's
Right.
certain rules, to
Hmm.
being a trustee too. And I understand that some people might not know that, but in this age of Google and,
Hmm.
these groups, you shouldn't be lacking in any type of knowledge. So I salute the trustees for, what they are doing. A
Mhm.
lot of times we do criticize and then we're thinking, oh man, I shouldn't have said that because what are they doing behind the scenes?
Right.
And that's really why I wanted to do this live with you to let
Mhm.
people know you don't see her, but look at all these things she's been doing behind the scenes. The day that Kim Austin uh showed up to Valerie Stubbs' home trying to give her a ticket, who was who was there? Let
I
me know.
I actually got there right after they were pulling
Okay.
off.
But you showed up. You
Absolutely.
showed
So I came, Trustee Tammy Brown, Trustee Brittany Norwood, Mary Avant, Jedediah, they all showed up.
right?
People
And
showed
see, it
up.
was not publicized, but
No,
those are things that are being done in the background. And that's why I said this is a table talk with silent success. This is about silent success. Because you don't have to be so loud and boisterous sometimes with your advocating. You can also be quiet and, just do things in the background and watch them work. You know,
absolutely.
um, Case in point, now we're gonna get to where I want to go. So there was a good segue. Um,
I got time. I got plenty of water.
so I am going to get ready to put up something. Let me
Okay.
change this around a little bit. Tell the people. First of all, what I wanted people to notice is this is the Lansing Journal. Shout out to Melanie from the Lansing Journal.
Absolutely.
Please go and subscribe to their newsletter if they have one. Favorite their page, go to their YouTube page, like,
Mhm.
share, subscribe, all of those things to the Lansing Journal YouTube page. I want you to take note of the date. This date says that Sherry Hatcher-Britton contributed to the Lansing Journal July 6th, 2023.
Mhm.
So for anybody that was wondering, well, where was everybody? Where did they let this go so long? No, there was people fighting from day one. I showed you the video from July 7th, 2022. Miss Sherry continued all of those months. And then she began to write. She wrote this for the Lansing Journal. Melanie was so kind to print it and get it circulated. And it says local voices addressing illegal activities by an elected official. July 6th, 2023. What came to your mind when, like, how did this come about? How did this article come about?
So I would talk to Melanie every now and then about the board meetings. And we were all so frustrated because, like everybody else, is like, why? What can we do? Why isn't anybody doing anything? So I was just saying some of the things, it was just to let people know some of the things that they could do on their own to try to move the needle. I mean, yeah, it would be frustrating. No, I'm not saying that it would work right away, but you have to documentation is key. So you gotta do emails. You gotta have a paper trail for everything that you're doing. So within that article, she actually posted a FOIA that I had sent that was never responded to. And so when
Okay.
you click on the link, it shows the kind of information that I was trying to get from, I believe, the township. And my frustration came when I would try to get information, and Keith Freeman used to block everything with me, my emails, because she was the one who let me know, hey, you're blocked. Because she tried to respond to something, because I would always CC people when I would send them emails, not necessarily FOIAs, but emails. And I didn't even realize that I was blocked. They just don't answer emails. And, when an elected official is not doing their job, there are steps that we're supposed to take. Although, as we see with the state's attorney and with Kwame Raoul, we know that there's no repercussions for them. I mean, we as the residents will pay, because if there is a repercussion, we will pay, other than them doing jail time. You know what I mean? That's something
Right.
that's just inevitable. We will pay. But it was the meaning behind this, or what fueled this, was us just trying to let people know there are things that you could do. You can speak out. You need to speak out. That's my big thing. And people being afraid. Sometimes some people, they're not afraid. It's just, I don't want to say lazy. They just don't want to do it. They want to sit back and let someone else do the work.
Right.
That's what
So
they want to do.
let's I'm gonna just walk through this article because I think this article is very important.
Mhm,
Because now that Dalton is known around the world, not
mhm,
not just, you know, we're not talking local, we're not talking
mhm.
national. We're talking
Yeah.
international news.
Mm-hmm.
I want to just walk through this article and show the people the advice, the great sage, wise advice that you gave, and some of the things that you were just talking about in the
Mm-hmm.
article. The first thing you say is to follow the process.
Right.
So,
That's
like
very important.
when I read that, to me it was like, okay, you can't skip any part. Even though the
No.
process may seem long, you can't go from step 1 to step 18 and think that something's gonna happen. So you have to
And what I
follow.
meant was documentation. When I say
Right.
follow the process is document. That's how you do it. So they can't say you didn't do this because here's the FOIA I sent you. Here's the email I sent you.
That
Here's the
part.
complaint I filled out. Hmm.
Right, right. So you, like I said, you can't skip. You got to get the proof of the information, the proof of what you're looking for first.
Yes.
And then you get the information and then you can go from there. There's no part of it that you can skip, to
Hmm.
be able to show, whatever it is you want to show, and say,
Hmm.
no, look, this person needs to be removed because of this, you know, because they're going to ask you how you got there. Like, okay, you can't just come and make an accusation and not have anything to back it up, so to speak. So that really spoke out to me, follow the process. Um, it says the Thornton Township website says the Kirk is responsible for keeping and making official records and legislation accessible to the resident. Maintains records of any emails you send and any responses you receive. Well, we know
Hmm.
that she's tried to disrupt that process, right? By taking
She did. Right. Hmm.
what
We
did she
still
do to the
don't
clerk?
know. There's still, I was told who the FOIA officer is in Dalton, but what they're trying to do is like say we have several FOIA officers in each department. Okay, they're responsible for gathering information, but there is one person. There should be one person responsible for the actual FOIAs that you and I and the powers that be can go to. You are responsible. So they have played so many games with FOIAs. We had over 300 missing FOIAs that were not answered. And that's because they hijacked the clerk's job. They didn't give her the mail. They didn't do any of that. And then would get up at a board meeting and lie and say, you're not sending out FOIAs.
So I, I want to go back to something that you just said. You said
Mhm.
that each department, so let's say you're trying to FOIA something from the finance department. There should
Mhm.
be somebody in that department
Mhm.
responsible for gathering the information that
And
you
sending it to
asked
the
for,
FOIA officer.
right? And sending it to the FOIA officer, and then they verify that what they gave them was what you asked for, right?
Absolutely. So yeah, when I was in the fire department, I was not the FOIA officer, but because I was the admin, when FOIAs came in, I would get the information and I would sometimes email it to the clerk, but also hand deliver it and put it in the clerk's mailbox, hard copy. So if she wanted to mail it out or anything like that, we did not mail out our own FOIAs. We gave it to the clerk, and the clerk did that
Which is the proper way to
to
do it
do it.
according to the ordinance and the law that is
Yes,
set forth
yes,
in Dalton,
mhm, yes.
right? So there's an order to things.
Hmm.
Hence the number one, follow the process. So
Yes.
I just want people to know that that's how it's supposed to work, but that is not how it's working. So when you
Right.
send a FOIA request to Dalton, well, previously, I don't know about now,
Hmm.
it was going somewhere, but it
Hmm.
wasn't getting answered, if that
Yes.
makes sense. So
Hmm.
and in Thornton Township, now that is the case. Now your FOIA is going somewhere. We don't have any clue where it's going,
Hmm.
but only certain ones are being answered. And
Yes.
now they're only being answered if they're turned into the public complaint officer,
Mhm.
which
And
is
some
out.
things don't even need FOIAs. You can, some people, okay, perfect example. I'm gonna give you another little bit of tea.
Let's go.
So her first meeting about her first year in office, and she wanted to do the 4th of July fireworks. And they were asking about the money because they were only going to give her so much money to do this. And so she in turn said, well, I have the school boards, I have these people, they're going to give me money. And she mentioned school board 148. So while the meeting was going on, I just got on my email and I sent it to the board president, Larry Lawrence. I said, hey, I'm fact checking the mayor. She said that she's waiting on a check from you for fireworks for the village of Dalton. He said, no, ma'am. He responded, no, ma'am. We're not giving her money. And I have that email.
Wow.
So she lied
Wow.
right there. And I mean, in real time, I sent an email and I was really shocked at how soon he responded. I don't know if it was during the meeting, but it was definitely before the next day. He
How
responded and he said, no, ma'am,
how
I did
how
not.
how overwhelmed do you think once this administration is righted?
Mhm.
Let's just project into the future. Once it's righted, how overwhelmed do you think this new FOIA officer is going to be with the backlog of FOIA requests? Like what?
Um,
I mean, there's two of them now because she got her deputy
mhm,
clerk back, right?
mhm.
But how overwhelming do you think that's going to be? Because there has to be loads of FOIAs that haven't been answered during this process.
So what I think is, I believe that a lot of the FOIAs have been sent because of Tiffany and her administration. There are some FOIAs that I've sent that I wouldn't even care about them answering now once she's gone. You know what I mean? I think things will be settled. I think it will be a rough road, but I think it won't be as bad as you know, as bad as we think it might be, only because I think that a lot of the FOIAs and the financials and things that people are asking for, they're only asking for them because she won't give it to them.
Right. But at the same time, they have to
Mhm,
be answered because if they're not answered,
mhm.
there can be consequences for an
Well,
already.
but yeah, I don't think what I'm saying is a lot of the people who I think might sue won't. I'm
Yeah,
not gonna
because she'll
sue.
be gone. Is that what
Yeah,
that how you're seeing it? Because she'll be gone and she won't be a
mhm,
problem anymore and people
right.
won't do that. And hopefully that is the case because um it's going to take a village to get this ship back right. It
Yeah,
really is going
and
to take
yeah,
a village to
and
do that, and it's going to
yeah.
take good, upstanding people saying, you
Mhm.
know what, that's okay.
Yeah, the
Send
next
me my
day
information
everybody's
real
gonna
quick.
want magic, you know.
Right.
I think it's gonna take Jason a whole term to start unraveling her mess.
Right. I feel like he's got a hard task ahead of him. I feel like
Mhm,
too that's really going to turn into more of a full-time job than a part-time job because he's got
mhm.
to sift through the mess. Like you've got to do a forensic audit of the
Yeah,
accounting
mhm.
measures that were taken. I mean, you got
That's
to
where
do
his
you
team come in.
right,
That's
and
where his team will come in.
you got to do each and every department, and people don't understand that that's going to take some time. He's
Yes.
not going to have an answer for you as soon as he is voted in mayor and he is up there taking his oath. Eh, Please don't go to the first meeting that he's in and ask him anything about the money because he's not going to know. It could be
Well, they're
several.
gonna do that though. You do know they're gonna do that.
Oh
You and
yeah,
I know it shouldn't happen, but they're gonna do
yeah,
it.
I know that they're gonna do that. I just don't want people to
Mhm.
have unrealistic expectations of a timeline because he's
Right.
got to do each and every department in order to
Mhm.
give the people a correct and full view of where they are, where you all are as a
Yeah.
village.
Yes.
And he wouldn't do his due diligence if he just came out and came with a half report. He would
Mhm.
need to do a full report. And so on this platform, I just want people to understand grace is going to have to be given. Please do not
Yes.
go to this man's meeting and start yelling and asking him for answers. And well, you ain't doing well. Listen, it's going to. It's a process. You see, Sherry done
Mhm.
told y'all you got to follow the process. Okay, we
Yes.
all are going to have to follow the process too. We're going to have to be patient with the new administration that comes in and give them grace and allow them to clean things up and do what they need to do. And then
Right.
I'm 100% sure that they are going to give a boy that once you go back to the two meetings like it's supposed to be, it's going to
Mhm.
go faster than people think. That's the
Right.
way I feel about it. I feel once you go
Mhm.
back to the proper order of having meetings, it's going to
Mhm.
go faster than you think because the
Yeah.
proper
Yeah.
time.
Yeah. And with the meetings, I'm a little. I know you'll probably think this is weird, but I personally, and it's just my personal opinion, and it's not anybody else's, but I don't think she should even be involved with our meetings going for. Why? I think we should just have them at the park district and they'll be productive because to me, that's a waste of time. I mean, I know people get to tell her off, but we've heard all that. We know that. We know that she's full of it. We know, we don't have to get up and keep saying the same thing over and over and over and over and over to her. She's not listening and it's not productive. So, in my opinion, people start lining up at 5 o'clock, an hour and a half before a meeting starts, to may or may not get in. And when you get in, there's citizens, there's a public comment when it really should be citizens address, where you go back and forth and you get answers. It's at the beginning of the meeting. She says, let me get this over. And then it's the Tiffany show for 2.5, 3 hours because she's got to go back and forth with people. Who has time for that? I don't have time for that because as we talked about this, I do enough in the background to not, I don't have time for that. So to sit
Right,
up there and look and listen to her for 3 hours, I don't have time for that.
right.
There's
And
things that could be being done.
I agree with you. I feel like okay, we know what she's going to do. We know what to expect from her every meeting. I feel like we should be moving to meetings, and I said this at the Park District. Um, Jason House has already been voted in as mayor pro tem. Um,
Hmm.
I feel like we conduct business because now we need to be talking about solutions. Now we need to be writing ordinances and
Hmm.
making sure we have proper things in place so that some of these loopholes are closed, so that some things
Yes.
cannot be done ever again to this town
Hmm.
or this
Yes.
village for even the next person that comes into office. So that
Right.
I feel like I feel like you. I feel like yeah, address her for what? If you're gonna address anyone, address the residents, encourage the residents. Like I love it when you come in Dalton politics and you say, "Hey, let's stay focused. Let's get back
Hmm.
on track." I love when you do that. I just want to go down. Let me see. Was it you were like so? You said submit a FOIA request. And then it does show if you all go to this article at the Lansing Journal, shout out to them. Thank you for this
Hmm.
article. It says click and download a PDF of that email. So her email that she sent, this is the
Hmm.
email that she sent for the FOIA.
Yeah, that was a FOIA. That was a FOIA for, I want to say her, when she had that so-called youth summit
Yeah.
in the
Yep.
parking lot of the
Yep.
nursing home.
Yep. And do you all see how this is written? She said, in accordance with the FOIA rules regulations, I am requesting Thornton Township provide me with the following information. And I want to let the people know this FOIA is for a village that doesn't have a FOIA site. Some villages have FOIA on their site. You click it and you can submit a request, and then they have the form there for you, and you just type in what you want.
And our clerk set that up, but the Tiffany's administration, they
Tore
did their
everything
own
apart.
thing.
Yeah. So
But this was
hopefully,
actually the Thornton Township. This one was
right,
the Thornton
right,
Township. But yeah,
right.
but both I mean, with Thorn Township is the most simple. They've got the simplest, and I actually like that because all you have to do is go to their email, the FOIA email, and type in what you need.
Right. And
So
so th-
that's to me, that's a little better than a form, honestly, because you can do it like I did, just like that. Because when you're
right,
filling out forms, sometimes it gets a little, you running out of space and all that type of stuff. It's just simpler to do it in email form.
right.
Hmm.
And so if you go to this article, you can see that. She also
Hmm.
tells you know your civil rights. Know what you can do as a citizen, as a resident. Contact the relevant authorities, the attorney general, the state's attorney, and she listed all of those. This is okay. Now, I said this article is written July 6th, 2023. So
Hmm.
Miss Sherry, she been doing this. She wrote this article. Let's go to another. It don't stop. The wisdom from Miss Sherry don't stop. Okay, tick tock, and it don't stop. Okay, she wrote another article, March 7th. This was the first article she wrote. The March 7th is the first. The July is the second. The first article she wrote, she says she was submitting her concerns. She wrote an article and submitted her concerns. Let's look at these questions. Woo! Miss Sherry had some questions. She had 21 questions. Ain't that a song? 21 questions. I know that's a song somewhere. The first question was Robert Hunt, financial director, Thornton Township. What exactly did you do to earn 60K pay increase? This was in March of 2023. Man, did you ever get these questions answered?
Of course not.
Of course you didn't. But
Mm.
man, that was a good. What is the last recorded date that Thornton Township was on a ballot or referendum for discontinuance of township organization? Did the board vote on the layoffs that were supposedly due to financial hardship in the township? Let's talk about that because some people don't know that when Tiffany came over there, she laid
Hmm.
off a lot of what? Long time
Time employee.
employees
I
of the
mean, people were getting ready to retire, and instead of just letting them retire, she like fired them right before it, like when they put in their paperwork to retire. Who does that?
wow. Wow.
She's
So
an
they wouldn't get their
evil,
benefits. So they wouldn't get their full benefits.
right? That's,
Wow.
I mean, wow.
Wow, like this is astounding. These questions are they're still relevant today. Like this is wild. Looking at this from last year, these questions are still relevant right now. How was it
Hmm.
decided which people would be laid off? Look, I like this question because when the trustees gave her the list of people that was laid
Hmm.
off in Dalton, what did she say?
How these people, you worried about that? These people got to eat all that stuff, girl.
And I
What?
feel like what did she say? She said she felt like the list was targeted. People was targeted with this list.
So
That this
wasn't
was
it
a
like
bite.
60 people that she laid off at the township? Was it 60 or more
Yes,
since she's been there? Okay. All
it
right.
was. And that
Okay.
day that she said that had me laughing so hard because I said she laid off all those people in the township. And now she's
Right.
sitting here saying she felt like this little list, and the list wasn't even as long as the people that she laid off. That is targeted. They laid off people that support her, and they shouldn't be laid off. They got families to feed. Woo, that
Mhm.
was funny to me. Oh my God. If Thornton Township is in financial hardship, who is paying for all the parties, hiring of new employees, gas giveaways, etc.? Now we haven't seen a gas giveaway in a while, but the parties, they have been nonstop. They have been
Absolutely.
nonstop.
That might have stopped her from doing the gas giveaways. That question might have.
Yeah, because lots of people allegedly, word on the street is that there was something funny about the giveaways, about the gas giveaways going on at these
Mhm.
particular certain gas stations. It wasn't, you know, we're gonna
Mhm.
go over to this gas station the next time. We're gonna go to this gas station. Press spreading it out over the gas stations in Dalton. No, it was the same particular gas station every time. Am I correct?
Right.
or at least there was two of them. There was two
Yes.
that she used. Um,
Hmm.
oh, we gotta answer. I'm gonna take a question because this person wants to know, and I don't want the question to go away. But guys, we're gonna do questions at the end. She'll answer a couple of questions. Sherry, do you think the unnamed assistant financial director is? Who do you think it is? My guess is Keith Price. That's what this person. Who do you think it is, though? She said there's an unnamed assistant. I think it was village administrator that was gonna remain anonymous.
I would say William Moore. You keep,
And you
you
might
know
be
what? They would burn down if she tried to hire Keith Price.
a job. These people don't know. I did that video, but I could have done so much more. Okay. It says, why weren't those making salaries of 100K laid off? In the real world, those individuals will be laid off first to save the most money, and that is correct. That's how it go on the food chain. If you make it the most, you're gonna be, yeah, your office get ready to be downsized, and it's get ready to be you. Because then they're gonna take your people and they're gonna condense them to somebody else. That's
Hmm.
in the real world. Wow, these
Absolutely.
questions. What do people who laid off Thornton Township counseling staff know about the township's counseling services? Were questions asked about terminating the free counseling we have offered our residents for so long? Do they know there are no counselors left?
Yeah,
Why
they
is
she
this?
laid off all of the counselors.
That
and
was a
and
big
then tried to
service.
go back. You remember she laid off everybody and then put some on the referendum to get money to do another counseling service through the I think through the college or something. But if they had free counseling, what are you doing?
How do you lose the grant for that? I mean, where did the money go for that? You can't like, and she constantly says it. Oh, Frank Zuccarelli did this, girl. What? You ain't doing none of the services, and I ain't gonna say that he was a great man. I am not gonna say that he did everything correct, but he
Hmm.
know he had them services going. So I don't see how she compares herself to that when she got rid of all these services, all these people's jobs. They have been there for years. I mean, serving the community. Like that
Hmm.
that was wild to me. Where are the
So, but
incoming
but
calls? Go ahead.
mhm. No, you go. I'm listening.
Okay, where are the incoming calls for counseling now being redirected? So what you're telling me is people were able to call in and
It
talk to
was yeah,
counselors.
they were getting counseling services, and now all of a sudden they're gone. What are you telling them? Where are you telling them they could go for these services now for
Wow.
free?
Wow. And that's a service that still hasn't come back. Do our trustees know that Dr. Weems is the only remaining psychologist and he has plans to divert services to his own agency? Child, when I saw that, I said,
And I got that from someone who worked within that department.
but that's what
But
he
this, but
did.
you know,
Or
he's no longer with us, so
right,
praying for his
right,
family. Yeah.
right. Prayers to them. But wow, that was an interesting question at the time.
Hmm.
How is it that many salaries were cut prior to the layoffs, yet other staff receive increases? Oh, here's my big question. When the HR attorney from Delgado Group reviewed job descriptions and duties, why did he not have the actual job descriptions? Is that how the layoffs were justified, as the job descriptions that were provided did not accurately reflect the positions?
Positions.
Wow.
Yep.
Why was the attorney reviewing job positions anyway?
Because he wanted to go in and help Tiffany restructure and get rid of people.
Child, I'm still confused. Cause you as an attorney telling somebody that the village don't need mental health counselors.
Right.
How are you qualified to do? I mean, listen. There's a question I'm asking because in the Delgado piece that I had, this man
Hmm.
claimed that his group only deals with municipal law. Well, laying off people don't have nothing to do with municipal law. That should not be within the scope of your
Mm.
contract or your job, allegedly.
Well, you know how I feel about that. I feel like
Okay.
some people just think some people of color are not smart and they're not gonna get it.
Mm,
So, they're shocked that we're even asking these questions, first of all.
okay. Okay. Mm,
I'm just saying. That's just
okay.
me.
Woo. How is it justified to purchase technical equipment for Dalton employees with township funds? I know you
What?
lying. Girl, you done
Phones and
told the
stuff.
people that they done commingle funds before they found out they commingle funds? This what you telling me?
Hmm.
Okay, so okay, we paying homage to Miss Sherry because there you read it right there, March 7th, 2023. Miss Sherry told them they was commingling funds before Miss Lightfoot came and had to verify. We're gonna say she verified what Sherry was asking. Child, mm-mm. And people want to ask why nobody is doing anything. It's lots of people doing something. They just not doing it loudly. They
Girl, we've been
because
fighting so hard. Do you know I almost forgot about this until you brought it up.
girl, I'm the super producer. I told you that before you came up
I
here.
said,
I said I'm gonna find some things because that's what I do. But man, these questions are amazing. Did anyone vet Sean Jackson and his relationship to the senior advisor? Tell me about this because I don't know anything about that.
that's a friend or a family member to the senior advisor, former senior advisor to the township.
And who was that?
So that's why I asked that question. Mr. Freeman. Remember
Wow.
he was a
I'm
senior
gonna do.
advisor. That was his
I think I'm
title.
gonna do a video on Mr. Freeman because, yeah, people don't know some things. I mean, I I I can respect him giving the information that he's giving now. I can respect that information, but then again, I can't really, because you only did it because you got caught in a mousetrap. You know what I'm
Well,
saying?
well, again, I did a petition to get rid of him, so I can't.
Let's. I want to also tell you all, Miss Sherry has done a petition to get rid of a lot of people. We're gonna talk about somebody else. She did a petition to get rid of and ask and beg the residents not to vote for him. We'll get to that. Let's see. This was about grant programs. These $6 million grants that this woman keeps saying is common. What are the qualifications for grant program directors? Grants from all forms of government are public knowledge. So, what grants have been awarded to the township? And I still have been asking this question: are the people
Oh,
administering the grants GATA compliant, which is a requirement for state grants? All grant dollars have to be accounted for. So who, what, when, where, and why were these grants applied for? Under what justification? Where is the submission plan to show what grants will be used for and how the money will be distributed, including grant manager salaries if paid from the grant?
well, see, and that
Child,
goes back to that goes back to that youth grant when I was asking all those questions about that. Tiffany just feels like if the township or the village gets money, let's say we're going to do a combined, our total budget with grants is $40,000. She doesn't understand that certain things have to be used for certain things. She's just saying, I got $40 million, so I'm gonna have $40 million worth of parties. That's it, that's
right.
all. And that's basically what I'm getting at. We know we'll never get the answers to those questions. But again, that goes back to your documentation. We've
Child,
asked it.
listen, okay, so let's apply this question to the $1 million grant that came in for the rental and mortgage assistance. The
Mhm.
400 and some odd $1,000 that Mr. Roberts told the community that he Floyd and they told him that they had proof that they did. What happened to the other $500,000 of this grant? Because shouldn't you have, again, receipts that show what you did with the money, where it went? Don't you got to keep these for records?
Well, again, that's almost like the 589 checks that was sitting in the drawer for worth $6 million.
$6 million, mind you, that still hasn't come. Yes, she's
And we don't
saying.
know where it is.
Oh,
So when
but
people say,
yes, she's saying that it's still gonna come in. And isn't there a time frame
but
that
this is money that we already supposedly had, the 6 million, because the board of trustees aren't approving bills off of grant money that we should be getting. This is money that should be coming from the general fund. It's gone.
Miss Sherry, you first of all,
Yes,
you
ma'am.
blowing my mind with this from 2023. Okay. We are getting exclusives on this channel and we are getting information. Man, this is blowing my mind.
Child, I should have been sending you all my stuff that I was sending to the public access and the state's attorney and all that for 2022. You know, we started this the day she had her not. We had a Zoom call, saying we gotta make plans to start getting her in line. Was she sworn in May 8th? We actually did that maybe a few days later. We've been doing this for 3.5 years. We've been doing this since May
And
of the
that's
second week of May of 2021.
And that's what I want to let the people know. You all have not just been sitting and not doing anything. You all just have not been doing that. You've been doing everything that you are supposed to do. The
Mm,
people that are supposed to be making the moves are not moving.
No, no. I mean,
So,
even down to when she was like on this question, when she was appointed as the supervisor. That's why of a couple of days, maybe a week ago, I did that video because it pissed me off to see her with that fake cry at the meeting the day that we had a board meeting the same day that Frank Zuccarelli died. And she
mhm,
was, oh, Frank wasn't, when you're crying, fake tears about him dying, but now you're saying he's horrible. Oh, he would have
mm.
gave you the whole truck if you said you were hungry.
That girl, I'm telling you, she don't mind lying. She don't mind lying at all.
Roll off
Mm.
her tongue, baby, like
Easy,
a French
so
kiss.
easy. That thing blows my mind. Okay, this says, what was James Vasselli? How many lawyers have Tiffany had? You put in parentheses Tiffany's private attorney during at the board table during the appointment of supervisor. Was
That
he
was so
actually
that what
sitting at
that
the
tells
table?
you is she knew. She knew when
Thank
she
you.
was going to be appointed.
She was up there acting. She was up there acting when she was like, me. So she was up
Yeah,
there acting. Wow.
yeah,
Another exclusive bomb. Y'all heard that right here on All in the Queue. Please like, subscribe, and share. You heard that
absolutely,
here. She said she already knew. Somebody knew because her attorney was already sitting at the table. Wow. Did James Vasselli attend the closed sessions where the appointment and other business was discussed? Child, this is like that YSL case where
hmm
the attorney for YSL was not allowed into the bed.
yep.
That right there. Oh my God. Mhm. Why is there electioneering happening during work hours involving township employees? That's what you was talking about your video, right?
Well, both, because at the time, there were employees actually calling us and telling us, we don't want to do this. We
Right.
don't want to be out door to door knocking or campaigning for her. And William Moore is so uninformed that he was actually calling and going to people's house and saying who he was and that he was campaigning for Tiffany. Why?
So he was being a senior because these are his words because he said at the township meeting that he a senior. So he was being a senior and was going out there and just doing and not knowing the laws. So and that would explain why he's showing up for work and he not gonna get paid and why
Mm-hmm.
he don't have no email. That whole speech threw me off because sir, if you're
Right.
laid off, that would mean you're not gonna have access to your emails because when people lay you off,
Mm-hmm.
they sever their ties and take your permissions away. I mean, that's how they work. Like,
So
I don't know.
what's interesting with the people that were laid off, and I mean, you can tell me if you think different. If you were laid off from a job, and let's say it was totally unfair, totally you shouldn't be laid off. It was not your fault that you were laid off. They did you 100% wrong. You leave and then you fight. You go to EEOC or you get an attorney. You don't continue to show up to work. That
That's why
is crazy.
that you know what I do? I file my unemployment, and like you said, then I file my case with the EEOC, and I do the things the proper way. Like
Hmm.
continuing to criminally trespass where you have been laid off and you no longer work is crazy to me. That's why I said in the comment today, all of the people that are showing up to work, regardless of them being laid off, should be charged with criminal trespass
Yeah, and they should be
because
terminated. It shouldn't be laid off anymore. It should go to termination.
right, because now you are now being in records and looking at things that you no longer have permission to look at. Sensitive information.
Hmm.
That's wild. I would never personally put my working career
Hmm.
in anything like
Some
that
they're
because
blackballing themselves. They're
right,
blackballing themselves because
right,
in the case of maybe Lacey and William Moore, when they're older and maybe they can retire. But some of these people are in their 40s and 50s and they still have 15, 20 years to work. Why would
right.
you blackball yourself? And I have heard from people that might have hired some of them before that will not hire them now.
Mm, that that
Yep.
that is well, to be honest with you, some of the people that's in her administration, this is the only job they probably would be able to get.
Yeah, especially
With
for what they're probably getting paid.
right, and considering their background.
Hmm.
So I mean I get it, but then again I don't because now there's so many places that will hire you with a background as long as you are honest and upfront. You know
Yeah,
what
but
I'm
when they
saying?
start looking at when they start looking at these YouTube videos and seeing them faces and them dancing like coons and all that
That's
stuff, I don't
crazy.
know.
That is crazy. I mean, that's why I be telling people social media is a blessing and a curse. I'm not sure, for some
Well, you
people
know
it's a
what?
curse.
Yeah, it. Okay, here's where I am with it. When we reached out, I started reaching out to people. Originally, I reached out to people like Pink Book Lessons, Hannibal is Hungry, as Shawan Burns, and I would talk to I would talk to um Hannibal more so
Mhm.
than anybody. And all of their platforms are different, if that
Right,
makes sense.
right.
All of
They
their
are.
platforms are different. And so that is where I'm at with all of the YouTube platforms. There were so many different people, and now I'm not going to name them because of the things that are going on. That they were helping us that we thought in the beginning, and you know, because their platforms were so different, there's room for everyone.
Yeah.
But
And I feel
when
that.
the fighting started and they started, beating us up instead of just being consistent, if you're just consistent and putting out good information, you'll grow your channel. When I started looking at Hannibal, he had like 23, 24,000, and now he's at 75,000. But
Right. I
that's from
mean,
staying out of the mess and just being consistent and posting about what you're posting about, not fighting. What makes you think that you're going to grow your YouTube channel by fighting with residents of a town that's struggling?
when I mean, if you have a platform, and that's mainly why I wanted to start my platform, was so that the residents will have a place to find information. I mean,
Mhm.
look what we just did. We just went through an article with your
Mhm.
sage advice on what to do. We showed a FOIA. We gave advice about,
Mhm.
you took video of things. You should have paperwork. Um,
Mhm.
that is originally why I started the channel, because I wanted the residents to have a place to come and get information. I have the Delgado pieces. I have a piece on Keith Price. I have
Mhm.
a piece on the CPA and Jerry
Mhm.
Genova. And
Mhm.
that's why I originally did this, and that's why I will continue to do it. Um,
Mhm.
Coming up in the my next table talk, I don't want people to miss that table talk, because
Mhm.
that table talk is going to tie Tinley Park to Dalton,
Mhm.
which is going to be crazy outrageous, because you're thinking in your mind, how did that work? How are we going to bridge this? What could
Mhm.
possibly connect those two places? And for those people who do not live in Illinois, we're going to be going from a predominantly African American makeup to a predominantly Caucasian makeup.
Mhm. Mhm.
But I can guarantee you, the same thing is about to start happening there, and we're going to
Mhm.
expose it before it starts happening. And I'm going to hope that the residents are going to start to like and subscribe to my channel for the information that they're going to get, for the
Mhm.
firsthand interviews that they're going to get. I mean, I have good things planned for this platform. Like I said, I'm going to walk the residents on how to do a FOIA request and what to do if it doesn't get answered. We're going to talk about the
Mhm.
Robert's Rules of Order, because listen, when Dalton gets righted, lots of people are going to be confused listening and looking at the meetings, because it will be a proper meeting. It will be
Right.
carried out in the proper fashion. You
Right,
know,
because people always talk about getting their popcorn. And speaking of that, and I think that's a great idea that you're going to show people about FOIAs. What people don't know is John Kraft came to Dalton and did a day, like a class for us.
hmm
And then he lives 5 hours away. He came here and he did a class for us, showing us, how to do FOIAs and things of that nature. He invited myself and a few other residents. We went out to Glen Ellen and we were at a forum. It was a nice dinner and everything. Actually, we sat next to the people of the village of Dixon. And you remember the Rita Crowell, where she stole all the money, the $53 million. We sat at a
yeah,
table next to them. And when it was all, it was a pretty conservative crowd. I won't lie about that. But when it was all over, they were asking us questions. They were giving us cards, saying reach out if you need help or anything. The guy from Follow the Money was there. He did a
oh wow,
presentation. So Edgar County Watchdogs and John Kraft have been with us for a while, and
I
they
would
were
love
they
to
were
connect.
trying to show us things like that.
I would
But
love to
we could,
connect with him to do that
huh?
here on this platform.
Yeah. And
Hopefully
and I
I
tell
can.
you, we could barely get people to go out. It was only four of us that went, but they had room for like eight. How do you not get eight residents to go out here and get this information? Not to mention, it was a real snazzy place with some good food.
Oh my gosh. I would love to connect with him and let him recreate that and not have to drive 5 hours and immortalize it in a video so the residents could come back to it over and over and over again. So John Kraft, Edgar's watchdog, if you watch him, I'm gonna put this out there. I would love to do that video with you. I have several questions, and I would like to walk through one with you so that we can do that live for the residents. I'm gonna answer
He's
one
great for
question.
resources. He's a great
Yeah.
resource.
Succeeding too. Next table talk. We're gonna talk about this. This right here is about to get interesting. Because just
Hmm.
as we know in Dalton, first of all, let me let you know, he was not the legal counsel in Dalton. He was not the
He was her
village,
special counsel.
he was not the village attorney. He had no business sitting at the table because he was not voted on by the residents. We're gonna talk about this though. Yeah, you should come back next Thursday for table talk, or I'm not sure. I hope this person um is able to come on with me. But boy,
Hmm.
we're gonna have some bombs dropping on that day, and we're gonna have an exclusive
I'll be
interview on that
watching.
day. Okay, we're gonna have an exclusive interview on that day. Mm. That's all I can say. I wish I could say more, but it's like you, Sherry, and like you just can't
Mm.
tell everything.
Look,
Yeah, child, you can't. Well, listen, when I got the information, this is what I did, Sherry. I was looking at my computer. I said,
okay. Right.
"Look, ice shaking and everything." I was like, "What?"
Hmm.
So please come back, like, subscribe, and share to this channel. The last thing, am I doing membership, Shanita? My channel is not monetized yet, so no, I'm not. But when I do, when I'm able to, right now I'm just working off Cash App. If you all feel like you want to donate, that's fine. If not, that's fine. But if you all, once I do, my interviews will be for my members only. So these table talks will go to um some general interviews, but like my exclusive interviews, they'll be for my members only. So that they like this it's gonna be something important. But so let's round out this interview. I'm sure you're tired of talking to me. I've enjoyed myself. I fanned
I
out
enjoyed
today.
myself.
Man, I
You know,
fanned
you
out
can reach
today.
out if you got any questions anytime.
Man,
That's what I'll do.
this was an absolute honor. And I'd like to have you back on, of course, as the village voice. So when we have something that we
Anytime.
want to hear the village's voice on, and we want to get some true and honest information and make sure we dispel some of the rumors and things like that, I
Hmm.
would like to be able to call on you and say, no, we're gonna have village voice
Anytime.
today, and make sure that the correct information gets out. But today, to end it out, what I want to do is give you the opportunity to express to the residents what you feel like we should be doing going forward. What should we be focusing on?
Hmm.
How you want the future or the next couple of months to look
Hmm.
um, for the residents. You have the floor.
So for the residents, well, first of all, I want to thank you for having me on. What I want residents to do is to look for more platforms like yours, because that's really important to, it's not about shits and giggles. I hope I'm not getting in trouble by
Oh
saying
no, you're
that.
not. You're not.
But it's about getting true information and supporting the people that support us. That's very, very important. I love dog politics, but sometimes it can be a bit much. The residents, what I want to see going forward is for us to pound the pavement, get out there, start making everybody aware of what's going on, because there are people who do not know what is actually going on. And we really have to turn this around. We have to stick together as a community. And when people are saying, what is she not doing? What is she not doing? No, ask yourself, what can you do, or what should you be doing? Anybody that is running and feels like they can come in 6 months before the election and just decide, oh, we can do it better, even though we haven't been in the fight, we haven't been at any tea with the trustees, we haven't been at any board meetings, we haven't talked to anybody in the community. No, that's not going to happen. And if you can complain about what Jason is doing, or what Kiana is doing, or what Brittany or Tammy or Ed or anybody, me, Trustee Stubbs, Mary, if you can complain about what we're doing, tell us what you're gonna do. That's what we want to know. We don't want to hear, I don't want you to come to me and tell me what we're not doing or somebody else isn't doing. Tell me what you're going to do. Tell me how you're going to get in this fight with us. You got to stand toe to toe with her and her administration. Do not back down. Tiffany is like an MMA fighter. She is not going to back down. And so we have to be the same way. We got to finish it. That's what we need to do. We got to stay strong. And, it's the little things, getting out, talking to your neighbors and just showing up and supporting us. I mean, when people inbox me and they tell me, you know what, you're doing a great job and thank you, though, that makes my day. Because some days I'm like, I'm not doing this. I'm tired. There are days I have ranted and said, I don't want to do this anymore. And my mom will tell me, no, yeah, you're going to do it because that's what you're supposed to do. But, when you get people like, I'm humble though. I don't, I'm not arrogant. I'm approachable, and when people say, oh, people haven't helped you guys or they've been doing this and why are they just now getting on board? Well, my answer to that is if I was pissed off or mad at everybody who didn't help me from day one, I would be talking to these four walls. Because it started off with me and Valerie. Then I got Dan Lee. And then I got other people when people have fallen off. And now we've got a bunch of people, well, not a bunch, but enough to make the noise. So I'm just grateful. And I mean, I know this has been a hard road, but it's coming to an end. I feel it. I feel the peace. So I want to thank you for being a person that shows up and has our backs when these clowns are coming for us. I love it. Thank you for being, a voice behind the voices.
Thank you so much. I want to tell you all we're going to have Sherry back if she'll come back,
Anytime,
because
anytime.
there is some other people have thrown their hat into the mayoral and the trustee race, if you all don't know. So we're going to start calling her the village voice. We're going to have a village voice segment, and we're going to have Sherry back, and we're going to review a podcast that these two residents were on. And we'll have Sherry back for that. And I guarantee you that's not going to be an episode that you want to miss either, because I'm going to ask Sherry if she will ask Valerie Stubbs to join us for
She
that.
will.
Because, baby, I can't wait. Because Miss Valerie, she shoot from the hip, honey. And I can't wait to show her this podcast and these people and see what she has to say. Because listen, she was the first one. Every time you see her, if you ask her, she'll say, I told Tiffany dog she don't need to run for nobody, mayor. I told her
But
she
she
didn't need to
did.
be no
She
trustee.
talked to her. She talked to her. She did talk to her, and she, she took, because Tiffany took me out to eat and asked me to help her.
Well, we are going to, I want to have you ladies on so that we can unpack this with the residents, because I feel like it is you and Valerie Stubbs and a few other people that the residents should be getting information from and should be looking to guide you, because you live there, you've been there, you know most of these people, and yeah, I mean, their advice is needed, and especially
Yes.
needed this time so that we don't go in this direction ever again. So,
Right.
okay.
That's true.
You all, thank you all for tuning in. I thank you so much for tuning in. Please like, share, and subscribe to this channel. I promise you the things coming forward are gonna be so great. The information is gonna be so great for the residents. Tune in tomorrow. I will be doing the double up show with the Minion with Opinion. On Sunday, I will be doing my show, Nah, but for real.
Oh,
You
you
wanted
know
to,
what? And see, you gotta send me that stuff because I love Minion with Opinion.
you
And
do?
see, one thing I'm gonna tell you as a little Jim, I go in every now and then and I just pop in on people's lives. They don't even pay attention, and I try to give them jewels, and they ignore me and all that stuff. But he didn't.
Oh,
He didn't, and I like him.
Minion.
But
Do you hear
I
that?
do that.
I'm gonna tell
I
him.
do that,
He's
and and
watching.
and they and I always tell them, if you send me your email address, I'll send you information. In fact, I'm going to be sending you quite a bit of stuff.
Okay,
So, because
great.
because I know that you were focused on, before and how long we've been doing this. I'll send
Yeah.
you some of the emails and the correspondence that I've been doing since 2021.
Yeah, we need those. We need those receipts because
Okay.
listen, just like we read that thing, there was gems in there. You even said, I didn't remember I wrote this up. You brought this up. Yeah.
Mhm.
So we need those things. But yeah, tune in tomorrow with me and Minion with Opinion. We're gonna be doing our show Double Up. We
Mhm.
have for you coming fashion cues. That is a
Okay.
segment we'll be doing. We'll be doing a
Okay.
segment called Questionable Quote. You
Okay.
don't want to miss that.
Just send it to me or let me know when it's happening so I can try to get on it when it's live.
I will. And then
Mhm.
Sunday, I'll be doing a show called Nah, but for real. This show, we are trying to also create content that has nothing to do with Dalton or Thornton Township,
Absolutely.
just to give the people a break. Because sometimes
Great.
your
Yeah.
brain need a break from the madness. So these segments and these shows that I'm previewing here have nothing
Mhm.
to do with Dalton. So if you don't want to tune
That's
in,
okay.
fine. But they're gonna be interesting to say the least. No, but for real, it's gonna be a great, great show. I hope you all tune. That's gonna be on Sundays. But I thank you all for tuning in. Let me see. Okay, Sherry gonna take 3 questions and we leaving. Anybody have a question for Sherry? Look at Minion. Minion said, "Oh, I'm so touched."
No, I like him. I really like him.
Listen, he is so sweet. I'm telling you, I love him. We are family forever. I love him. And so, yeah, me and him are going to be doing a show tomorrow. Does anybody have any questions for Sherry? She's going to take 3 questions. The first 3 questions that come up, we are going to take them and get out of here. If y'all, let's see. Yes. Will Sherry be running for Thornton trustee? See, they got you because they didn't ask you about Dalton. You said no to Dalton. Now they asking you about Thornton.
Absolutely not.
Okay.
No,
Y'all heard that. Let's see.
I'm not running for office at all. That's not my
Okay.
thing.
Right. Is there a plan in place to reverse the foolishness that Tiffany pulled at the last non-meeting in Dalton?
Yes. Yes. Really, the legal part of it, there's nothing. It was so illegal. Really, it's not. They can't. They need to just call the police on these people. I don't even know why Michael Smith showed up to work. If you're a village administrator, that right there should have shown people that he doesn't know how to be a village administrator because he would know that his whole hiring was illegal. So yes,
He was a
we
whole
will be
Dixmoor
working on
trustee,
that.
right? He was a whole Dixmoor trustee, right? So he know how I go. Wow. Fix it,
Yes,
Jesus.
we there are things, I'm ready to go to Village Hall and protest Village Hall about Michael Smith, William Moore, all of them. They gotta go. Hmm.
One more question. One more question. If we don't have any more questions, y'all got about 30
Yep,
seconds.
their whole existence is illegal. Yep.
Yep. That's amazing to me. How do you show up to where is your office? Because there is already a village admin. Where is your office? Like, okay,
Hmm.
never mind.
Yeah, he does. It's true.
All right. Well,
Now for protest. Yep.
everybody's saying they down for a protest, sure. I don't know. This might be the thing. And listen, the news gonna come out because listen, Who did it? Was it Dean Placco that did
Him or was it
reporting?
Dane did it, and I want to say Ben did too. But I'm telling y'all, if y'all see that video, y'all saw that video? Yes, she is.
All
Um,
right, that's the last
everybody
question.
is working from home because the the mayor and her enforcers are so dangerous. So they're not
Eh,
in the building, but they are working.
man, that's crazy. But
Yeah,
she gonna get up there and grandstand and say the people are scared to come to work. Yeah, because of who you hired. But
yeah,
anyway,
because
child.
of her. Wouldn't
Okay,
scare me.
at all,
Wouldn't scare
at all.
me, but I get it. It's yeah, yeah. So yeah, but yeah, plans for Michael Smith and all of those people. They're just they're at the bottom. They're at the end now, and there's nowhere else they can go. Are you going to the Attorney General? What do you mean, Jen? Jen,
Are they supposed to? Are y'all supposed to be protesting? Is there something supposed to be going on? Um, as far as the
talk
attorney
about
general
it.
is
We
concerned,
don't
I
want
don't
to. We'll talk about it. We'll talk about it.
know. Okay, well,
We don't.
there was a
We'll talk
letter
about
that there was a letter that
it.
oh, and I had put it on the screen. This last thing. This was the letter that
The
was sent.
binding
Yeah,
decision.
the binding decision. I mean,
Mhm. So
they don't
now
have
that's
any
the thing,
power to enforce it. So how does it get
right?
enforced?
So it just gives us the right to sue as
Right.
residents because of that, and then like with the attorney general and going to protest. Some people may feel like we shouldn't do it because of that binding decision, but that has nothing to do with nothing. That's a binding decision on two meetings. And Kwame Raoul has not done his job for 3.5 years with 2.5 years left in that seat, or 2 year or whatever. So here's the thing. Well, I don't know, was he 2 years or 3 years left in his seat? He didn't do it.
Yeah,
He
I think
hasn't
it's
done
two
anything
years.
for us.
Yeah, I mean,
So
whew,
we need to protest. This doesn't give him a pass.
right.
You should have did that, and you should have did something about the FOIAs. The
And
next board
what
meeting is a special board meeting on September 12th.
yeah. I
And yeah.
I'm feeling
Mhm.
some type of way because even though this gives you the ability to sue, I mean, you can't really because the town doesn't have any money. And why would you do
Right.
that? If in a town you live in, why would you sue yourself? Because that's
Well, what
basically what you're doing.
that's what Tiffany wants, because her and Keith Freeman would always say sue us, because they knew that anything that they were doing, they wouldn't be personally liable for. But Miss Tiffany is not, what she wasn't expecting is a lot of these lawsuits now that are coming across to sue her personally.
Right. They name her. They
Hmm.
name her.
Yeah,
Wow.
they want her money.
Right. They want the money she done hid. Listen, Sherry, I want you to stay up here for a few minutes after I close the show
Okay.
because I gotta ask you something.
Okay.
Um, to my audience, man, thank you so much for showing up for me this evening. Please like, subscribe, and I'm gonna let somebody else tell you to subscribe, and we finna get out of here. I hope, it is my sincere hope that you learned something on this platform tonight, that you just didn't spend your time here and didn't learn anything. I hope that I did that for you. I hope that you come back and you look at this video over and over and over again and take all of the gems from it and use it for your city, your town, your village, your township, wherever you live, whatever level of government you have, to hold your representatives that you put in the seat accountable. Thank you so
Absolutely.
much for tuning in with us today. I will see you guys tomorrow for the Double Up Show with Minion with Opinion.
Press the subscribe button. Yes, you. Press the subscribe button. Press the subscribe button. Yes, you. Press the subscribe button. Press the subscribe button. Yes, you. Press the subscribe button. Press the subscribe button. Yes, you. Press the subscribe button. Press the subscribe button. Yes, you. Press the subscribe button.
I can't hear anything. That's so funny, right? It makes me laugh
Uh-huh.
every time I see it. You
Hilarious.
all, y'all take
Be in the know, just know what to show, to know what to do. Just jump in the queue, it's down to you. So what you gonna do? All in the queue, it's hella to you. All in the queue, just check out the view. All in the queue. So be in the know, just know what to show, to know what to do. Just